let's talk about performing. Let's talk about performance anxiety. There's a lot of stuff I've done over the years, so many different things that have helped. There's stuff that's like really long-term ways to work on it, and then there's like the actual like more short-term, like while you're on stage. The first thing I would say is like some of your nerves are going to be out of your control, and you have to be accepting of that. Sometimes it's just a little weird. Sometimes you get a weird text right before you play, and you're like, well, I don't feel good, you know, and then you go up there and the music isn't fun, so then it's really easy to be nervous. I mean, like, as somebody who used to have like just general anxiety, and I used to have panic attacks all the time. Like, I was 18, 19, I had raging panic disorder. I used to have panic attacks multiple times every day for 2 years, like every day, dude. And something I learned just from that is like, if you start to fight the panic, that's what causes it. That's what like makes it worse. You have that feeling like, oh shit, oh bad, oh bad, right? You're actually like, the panic itself can become a feedback loop. That's something that can definitely happen on stage, you know? So when I'm on stage, like, I have a rule. It's like, if I start to panic, like, I'm letting it happen, dude. Like, I'm gonna keep playing, but, you know, I'm gonna let myself feel that. Another thing too is like, keep your head up. Look at the other musicians, look at the audience. Also, your body language has so much to do with it. If I feel nervous, I just will start looking out into the audience a little bit, even while I'm playing, even if it's like a little awkward. Like, I'll just kind of look around, just kind of observe, not trying to creep anyone out, but just like, and that always calms me down. And then I try to play bigger than the room, not in a way that overshadows the other musicians, but play beyond the wall, like play past the wall. And if your energy is really big and you're really open and you're not like worried about mistakes and things, that tends to help a lot. Then you're like, well, if I f up, who cares? It's like being open and vulnerable. If you have a feeling of gratitude, then you won't be tripping on mistakes. That's hard to generate though sometimes, because sometimes you don't feel good. You know, sometimes you go on stage and I don't feel great. But if I have like a real feeling of gratitude, I don't care about the mistakes that I'm making. Even if I am objectively, physically playing a wrong note here or there, it doesn't feel wrong. It's just what happened. So I actually do gratitude exercises before I go on stage, which sounds really cheesy, but I do that stuff, you know? I'll sit there and think about like 3 things I'm thankful for, one after another, and I'll like close my eyes and just like think about it. Sometimes I'll have a photo of my grandmother. I have it on my piano right now. I have a photo of my grandmother that I'll put like on the keyboard when I play, or a picture of me and a friend. I'll bring stuff like that, mementos with me too, because like that makes me feel really good. So, you know, when you have like little reminders like that, it just kind of puts things into perspective that this is an opportunity to like play in a way that's like really, really warm and inviting. Actually, before the London show this past year, that was a show that made me really nervous. It was a bigger show. It was 700 tickets, and I hadn't really done that. I'm certainly not in London. So I called one of my teachers, Abraham Laboriel, legendary bassist. He's the most recorded bassist of all time, by the way. He was like, you have to invite people into what you're doing. That's what he's like, dude, yeah, you got to play in a way where your energy is going this way and not this way. Like, you're just trying to bring people into what you're doing. You're trying to play really beautifully and just, you know, then you are getting out of your head in a way. That really blew my mind. That night, I had one of the most fun shows I've ever had. Like, I wasn't tripping at all. I don't even remember how I played. I remember like just looking out in the audience and having a good time, and next thing you know, like, I'm not thinking about like, ooh, how am I playing? Ooh, you know, no, it's more just like, man, this crowd is great. 90% of the time, I'm not like that. 90% of the time, I'm not even, I could have the best, most gracious crowd and not appreciate it because I'm like just in here. And so like that advice really just changed the whole dynamic. Yeah, I did all the preparation for that show, which leads me to the next point. It's all in preparation too, on all levels. You want the preparation to be good. Here's another rule. Even while I say all that, I might prepare my hands, I'll prepare my mind, I'll prepare my body, whatever. But day of, I do not think about the music that I'm going to play. I have a rule. I'm not thinking about what I'm going to play the day of. I think a lot of people follow this rule. Because if you're obsessing over the music the day of, you're just building up anxiety and you're focusing on the mistakes that you could make. My dad told me, he said, when I was in college, dude, like whatever I had at midnight, that was it. You know, and what that does is A, it forces you to get ready before that point. You don't wait till the last minute to do it. And then B, you're well rested and then you're not as anxious the next day, and you know, you have a clear mind going in. You don't practice only to get good. I mean, you do practice to get good, but you also practice to develop your confidence, dude. Art Blakey quote, "A mistake is when you don't know what to do with what you just did." which I love because it invokes the idea of like transience, that like the mistake isn't what just happened. The mistake is like, how do you respond? You're just always in a state of like, there's something I can do now. There's always something I can do now to play off the thing I just did, or forget about the thing I just did because it's in the past now and I gotta, whatever. And maybe I'll think about it tomorrow.